Hi there, this is Karen from Soul Shimmer Designs, and my project today that I've used my Teckwrap vinyl on is this wedding countdown set. This is an easy and a fun project to put together, so let's get going and I'll show you how I put it together. So first up we need to make the wooden base that the countdown blocks will sit on, and you can use wood that's cut to a certain size. I just don't have that available here in Switzerland, so I came across these sticks that I can use to glue together and put them in the right sizes that I need for this project. So the first set of 4 will be the front, where my decal will stick to, and then the next set of 6 will be the base or the back, and then we'll have 2 horizontal sticks that will glue in to make kind of a shelf that the countdown blocks will sit on. So here I'm just using my wood glue, and as I said, you can probably get these from your local hardware store in the size that you need. So now I'm adding glue to one of the sticks that will be used for the base, and just make sure that's on straight. And then in this next shot you'll see I've added on a second stick at the top there, closer to the top, and that will be acting as the shelf for the countdown blocks. So now I'm adding on my set of 4 sticks, and again just pushing that down and making sure it's all set up. So you'll see now we've created the base for our countdown blocks. And just as an example, I have the blocks here, and that just sits on the shelf there. The next thing to do is to make these look a bit prettier, and I'm going to add a stain that I've used, that I made with some pigments and my Hyperion, and it comes out in a nice sort of vintage brown colour, and works out really well on this colour, as that's the base of the sticks. So now I'm just making sure I go over the whole of the calendar base, and including the inside there. I used a long paintbrush and could go inside, but I just wanted to make sure that everywhere was had this stain on it, and it came out really nicely. Gives it a bit more character. And then I decided to add a sort of a latte colour, latte beige kind of colour for the blocks to make them stand out a bit more on the dark wooden base. And next up is using my Teckwrap Opal Glow in the Dark vinyl, and I think I say this about all my Teckwrap vinyl, but this is really one of my favourite colours. And you can see that some of the font that I've used is quite thin, but that's no problem for this vinyl when you're weeding, to get that off. Now I'm just using my weeding pen and getting rid of any excess, and I used a gold matte colour for the offset on the days until our wedding day. So now I have my red grid transfer paper, using my squidgy and just pushing that down, burnishing that down, and now it's time to add the decal onto the offset. And it comes out, I made a bit of a mistake there trying to put it on, but it was easy enough to pull that away, and using my squidgy to burnish that. Now when I cut the gold backing For the offset, I used the wrong settings, cut settings, so it stuck a little bit to the back of the transfer or the backing sheet, but you can see it gave me a little bit of a problem, but not too much. And I was using my weeding pen as well to get push down any pieces that kept sticking up onto the backing sheet. So it didn't take too long for that to come off. And we're almost ready, almost finished that. Okay, and you'll see how nice that's come out with the gold as the offset with the opal vinyl. So now I add this onto the wood that I stained. I haven't sanded this or anything. I find with Teckwrap vinyl that it sticks really well on wood. I also added with the stain some Hyperion, so that would have given it a little bit more of a base as well. But you can see it's just pulled away nicely from the transfer tape. And I've just used a backing sheet just to burnish that down, just as a precaution to make sure it's really stuck down. I didn't want to scratch the vinyl. So it's come up looking really good. Then the next part is to add the numbers onto the blocks, and I found on Pinterest a file that gave me the correct combinations that I would need for these numbers rather than just 1 to 6. And I copied those, put that into Silhouette Studio and could print those out, so that's quite an easy part. It's just a little bit time consuming. You've got 4 blocks with 6 sides, but you can see with the transfer tape the opal vinyl comes off nice and easily, and even though this is sped up, the actual process doesn't take too long. And I think with these blocks the most you can start with is either 444 or 333. You've got 3 lots of 3s and 4s, and the rest, if you can put the numbers in as you like. And the 6 obviously changes to a 9. So that is how I completed the wedding days until our wedding day set. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you've got any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you on my next tutorial.